As we inch closer to Major 4 of the Black Ops 7 season, which takes place in Paris, France, I wanted to take the time to dive into the history of France's contributions to competitive Call of Duty. Between hosting some of the largest events our esport has ever seen, producing legendary talent both past and present, and a fan base that has always brought an elevated level of passion and energy into competitive Call of Duty, let's take a look at the complete history of France's impact on Call of Duty Esports. 2004 to 2007, pioneers of LAN and PC competition. Our timeline begins all the way back in 2004, during the days of Call of Duty 1. By this point, North America had been hosting small-scale online competitions with prize pools of less than $1,000. While these online leagues were just getting started, France took Call of Duty to the big stage at Gamers Assembly 2004. Gamers Assembly is an annual grassroots esports festival hosted in France, similar to the likes of DreamHack, that initially launched in the year 2000. Gamers Assembly 2004 holds historic value for being the first true professional Call of Duty LAN. 32 teams competed in a 5v5 competition, 160 competitors, and a couple hundred spectators on top of that to watch the very best Call of Duty 1 competition. Not only did France set the stage for what a modern Call of Duty event looks like, they were also a pioneer in PC play, compared to console, which was the standard in North America from 2004 through 2020. So why were the French so ahead of the curve in regard to PC play versus console? Two reasons. Number one, the cyber cafe boom. In the mid-2000s, France had a dense network of internet cafes and high-speed LAN clubs. Here, gamers gathered in shared spaces with their own equipment. PC gaming became highly social and highly competitive as a result. And number two, the Counter-Strike effect. In 2003 to 2004, France were a global powerhouse in Counter-Strike. An entire generation of French gamers watched PC competitions and in turn favored playing on PC themselves. So when Call of Duty 1 came out in late 2003, fans quickly adopted towards competing on a PC Pro Mod version instead of console. By 2007 and the release of COD 4, the French had years of experience hosting large-scale LAN competitions, attracting countries from all over Europe to fly to France to compete against the very best. 2010 to 2012, the rise of the French monster. The year is 2010. Modern Warfare 2 is the current title, and the world was officially introduced to Gotaga. His first LAN victory took place at the Opel Arena in August 2010, with a whopping €2,800 prize pool, roughly $3,600 USD. In 2011, for the Black Ops 1 season, Gotaga joined Mythics Esports, a legendary OG French organization from the early to mid-2000s. It was in Black Ops 1 where Gotaga and his Mythic squad displayed dominance in the European Call of Duty circuit, winning ECL Blackpool in England, Reflex GT4 and 6 in the Netherlands, and Ultimate Gaming 2011 in Belgium. For the MW3 season, Gotaga joined Apex EU. The Apex brand was dominant in MW3 in both the EU and NA. Apex NA's roster consisted of Scump, Big Timer, Rambo, and Merc. Both Apex NA and EU competed at EGL Blackpool 5, a tournament that was eventually won by Apex NA. They met again at EGL Blackpool 7, which was won by the same core four of Scump, Big Timer, Rambo, and Merc, but this time they weren't representing Apex, they were representing a new org, Optic Gaming. 2013 to 2017, the ESWC and COD Champs era. 2013 was a magical year for competitive Call of Duty. Call of Duty launched their first in-game ranked mode, and with that came the Call of Duty Championships, a $1 million prize pool, and a shot at being named World Champion. France was represented at the inaugural COD Champs by Millennium, a team consisting of Gotaga, Carnage, Diablo, and Broken. Millennium were eliminated with a top 24 placing, losing to future Optic legend Embos and his Source Squad. 2013 was also Call of Duty's introduction to ESWC, which has two different meanings: the Electronic Esports World Cup or the Electronic Esports World Convention. In the same style of Gamers Assembly, this French-owned company wanted to scale esports to new heights, and Black Ops 2 was the first Call of Duty to join this epic annual gaming convention. This would be the beginning of a 5-year partnership between ESWC and Call of Duty, hosting events from 2013 to 2017. Out of the 5 ESWC Call of Duty events, one player took home the win in all 5 of them, and that player was Crimsix. Starting in 2013, Complexity brought their reign of terror to France, winning with a perfect 6-0 match record. ESWC 2014 took place in Ghosts, which was won by Evil Geniuses, formerly Complexity, a roster consisting of Aches, TP, Crimsix, and Dito, who replaced Karma after his fallout with Evil Geniuses. And then came Optic Gaming's reign of dominance in France, winning ESWC 2015, 2016, and 2017. Crimsix had an absurd 27-3 match record in France with 5 championship wins. These crowds are amongst the loudest in our esports history, who have been sorely missed, making Major 4 in 2026 an event 9 years in the making. 2020, Paris Legion, failed representation. With the launch of the Call of Duty League, it only made sense to have representation from one of the most influential countries in COD Esports history. Paris Legion was born, and basically failed immediately at representing the country of France. Owned by Contact Gaming, a United States-based organization operating out of Los Angeles, California. They fielded a roster of 4 Australians and 1 American as their debut roster in the CDL. No French content, personalities, and as I said, were based thousands of miles away from the land they represented. There was a disconnect between the French fanbase and the Paris Legion immediately. After 3 years of poor placements and no brand growth, the Paris Legion became the Vegas Legion, and suddenly France had no CDL representation. 2021 through 2023, Hydra and the creation of Gentlemates. I had just mentioned Paris Legion's move to Vegas, but I want to take a step back to 2021, the year of the professional debut of the French phenom Hydra. You can't make a video on France's impact in Call of Duty without mentioning the greatest player to ever come out of the region. Hydra had an insane amount of hype leading up to his CDL debut. It was obvious the Paris Legion would sign him to build their brand around a young French superstar, but we already discussed the Paris Legion. Of course they failed here. Hydra would get picked up by the New York Subliners, where he would become their greatest player in franchise history. Hydra had the most series wins, tournament wins, finals appearances, and events played for the New York Subliners brand, all culminating at COD Champs 2023, where Hydra became the first European world champion. He also won season MVP in MW2, becoming the first European player to accomplish this feat as well. He is still a dominant force and MVP candidate to this very day, with his LA Thieves team favored to win Major 4 in Paris. 2023 was also the year Gotaga created Gentlemates, following Paris Legion's exodus from the France region, but they didn't get to start in Call of Duty immediately. Gentlemates found success in both Fortnite and Valorant, with hopes of future entry in the CDL. 2024 through present, Paris Gentlemates plus the return to France. In December 2024, Gotaga and the Gentlemates' dream of entering the CDL became a reality. After buying LA Guerrilla's spot, they were officially one of the 12 CDL teams for the 2025 Black Ops 6 season. The only issue here was the team name. As I said, Gentlemates bought LAG's spot mere weeks before the beginning of the 2025 season, and with that, Gentlemates missed Activision's strict deadline on a full rebrand, leading to them competing under the name of LA Guerrilla Mates. This was a rough year for the franchise, peaking at an 8th place finish at Major 4, but the best was yet to come. We now enter the 2026 Black Ops 7 season. Gentlemates shedded the Guerrillas from their name and adopted Paris as their city of representation. The Paris Gentlemates were born, and they meant business, signing world champion Envoy as well as young stars Neptune, Ghosty, and Sib. This 4 got to work immediately. After going 5-2 in Stage 1 qualifiers, they stormed into Major 1, taking down Optic Texas in the Grand Finals. For the first time in all of Call of Duty history, a French organization won a major championship on North American soil. With a championship under their belt and a loud and passionate fan base behind them, the Gentlemates are here to stay. In conclusion, France has played a bigger role in the entire scope of competitive Call of Duty more than you ever could have imagined. From pioneering large-scale LAN events to PC play, introducing some of the biggest personalities in the entire space, such as Gotaga and a future Hall of Fame great in Hydra, a country that has hosted dozens of Call of Duty tournaments, with the next one taking place this very week at Major 4. Call of Duty Esports wouldn't be where it is today without the innovation of the French. And that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed my full breakdown of France's contributions to competitive Call of Duty. Please subscribe and follow me on Twitter at BrianStats1. Usually this is where I say thank you, but this time it's merci.